Hey, what's up, y'all? Big day in the sneaker world, of course. And as usual, I'll come in and do an Insider Ties, but this one is pointed to a person, in particular, a very important person, the founder of Pitch Black, out of Portland, also a TEDx speaker, Stephen Green. So if you look over here to my side, you'll see this StockX letter, which is what this entire video is going to be about. But if you guys have the time to go in and follow PDX, Stephen G, the insight that this guy has is incredible, especially for all of you guys that are like trying to go from sneakerhead to boss and you want to become part of the sneaker industry and work in the sneaker industry. But more importantly, if you're in that West Coast area, but Pitch Black moves across the country, and you're looking for funding, this is the guy to ask questions to. Extremely important person. And I wanted you guys to know where the questions are coming from in regard to the letter that I got this morning, and I'm sure a lot of you guys got this morning. So let's get to it and let's read the letter. So I'm saying so too much, I apologize. Here's the letter from the co-founder, Josh Luber, of StockX. And this came this morning. As you might have seen in the New York Times this morning, today marks a major day for all of us here at StockX. We announced our latest round of funding. Here's the thing. They just became a billion-dollar company. StockX just became a billion-dollar company. And the surprising thing to me is this. But you know what? Let me stop because I'm going over to the questions now, okay? And Stephen wrote me this morning. He said, hey, Chris, what do you think about the investment and the fact that StockX is XYZ? And I was like, you know what? I need direct questions. So he wrote these questions. So you look right here. There are the questions. And we're going to go through each one of these questions. Now, I'm trying to get this all in under 10 minutes. I'm going to miss some things. If you leave comments or you write me or do something else, and I'll go into further detail into these questions because these are not easy questions. The first one, what does this mean for retailers? It means a lot, but not for Foot Locker. Foot Locker is very smart. Foot Locker did what? They went out and they invested into GOAT. They went and found them a resale platform basically to find a means of gauging what's happening in the resale area. Foot Locker also reduced the discounts that they were giving to people, and they've started to cut back on a lot of the sales that they've been having. I think it's a little bit too late for that, but this is not going to affect a business that's has over 3,000 physical brick and mortar locations. It's simply not going to affect Foot Locker. So that retailer is not going to be shaped in any shape, form, or fashion. But the smaller retailers are definitely going to be affected because the digital space is an interesting place for the sneaker industry. StockX shouldn't exist. That's the first thing. It shouldn't exist. GOAT shouldn't exist. Stadium Goods shouldn't exist. I shouldn't exist. None of us should be here if the retailers were actually doing what they were supposed to do and they had better marketing teams. Because the retailers don't have good marketing teams, and I hate to say that because I know people who are on those marketing teams, if they had better marketing teams, they could hit those customers on those discount items or on those hot items that aren't being snatched on the day of release and being resold. Because this is what's interesting about StockX, and this is why I say the smaller retailers need to fret. StockX, in the book, right, and you guys that have read the book, you know what I wrote, 25% of my sales happen under $100. StockX is supposed to be a premium site for hot shoes and shoes that resell, like Jordan 1s or Yeezys and stuff like that, and that's what everybody's talking about out there about StockX. But that's not the case. The majority of my sales were $150 and below. Now, if StockX is capable of pulling off that feat of reaching the consumer that's buying a regular shoe as opposed to a high-end premium shoe, retailers have a reason to fret. And this is why. Let's go in and look at some numbers real quick. And I'm at 440, so I have to go fast. I apologize for going fast. This is Hibbets.com, right? Hibbets just acquired City Gear. And this is citygear.com. So I'm looking at digital because we're talking about digital companies in StockX or GOAT, because we're talking in particular about StockX. We got to look at the digital aspect of Hibbett.com. 1.98 million visits a month, right? City Gear. Let's scroll down. 250,000 visits a month. Now, I'm going to open this up and duplicate, and I'm going to go to StockX and look at the traffic that StockX gets versus those two stores. Digital company. StockX owns zero inventory, right? So let's go and look at the traffic of StockX. 15 million. It completely dwarfs a business that has been around for over 20 years, that's on the public stock market. It completely dwarfs the daily or monthly traffic for a company that just acquired a business with 100 stores in City Gear. StockX dwarfs it. That's an important factor. All right. Now, if we go to DTLR and we look at DTLR's digital traffic, it's better than City Gear's. It's at 700,000 visits a month. But a company like DTLR eventually is going to end up in the same position as City Gear. It's going to get acquired. Why? Because their digital growth isn't strong enough to offset whatever losses that they're taking at retail. So let's go back to the questions. I'm at 6 minutes, and that's only question one. I may not make it all the way through these, but let me shut up and keep going. When, who, will there be a company actually of the culture to step into the space? There are a few black-owned businesses. One, I think Burn Rubber is a black-owned sneaker shop. I think Leaders 1354 is a black-owned sneaker shop. I get what he's asking me here. You have brown people who are owners of part owners of GOAT, is Asian, but I know in specific he's asking about us, black people. I'm a reseller. Over the last, from 2011 till now, I've probably made over $5 or $6 million. In the mid 2000s, when I first started getting into the business of reselling, I attempted to build teams, and I built teams, and those people, and this is a generalization, man. It's about black people, and it's a very difficult thing for me to say because this is not all black people. It's a generalization, and I apologize, but we backstab each other. And I attempted to build teams. Those teams fractured, split apart every time I tried to build the team. I don't have the liberty, and I can only speak about me here in this instance. I've never had the ability to work on an idea like StockX because I've always had to put the work in to make money to feed my family. I never get the space to do what Josh Luber has done. Although I was probably making crap loads more money than him before they even kicked Campless off. I've never had that space, and black people don't tend to get the space to actually flesh out ideas. And it's very hard to say that, and I need to go into it more, but I'm running short on time, and I'm going to go to question 3. What does this mean for Amazon? Nothing. Amazon is going to be $1 trillion company soon. Amazon is the beast. You can't touch it. More importantly, Amazon has what's called the brand registry. I don't think eBay has that, but the brand registry is one of the most beautiful things that happened, and it was the death of my business on Amazon. If you read the book, you understand that statement. I'm going to move on from it. What if LeBron and crew come in and blow up the spot? Here's the interesting thing. I just showed you that there are a couple of black-owned businesses. If LeBron decides to get into this space, what makes you think he's going to do any better than the Trophy Room, which is owned by Michael Jordan's son? He would have to put together a team of people who are much smarter than his people that he has around him, who really know this industry. And I personally don't think it's something that they're going to try to get into. But if he did do it, does he have the money to pull it off? Probably. Probably. That's something we're going to have to come back to. Now, the final question. What questions aren't being asked? And I only have 20 seconds to get to this one. So let's get to it. The question that's not being asked is the main question. StockX shouldn't exist. They don't own inventory, and they're selling shoes. How does it work? Think about that. It shouldn't exist. That's it.